It's late and I gotta go to bed, but Coca-Cola decided to add something new to their lineup: spiced Coke, a raspberry spiced flavored cola. Uh, Interesting call here. After a fairly lean soda pop year in 2023, what we really got was mostly it was Peeps Pepsi got a wide release. Then there was the Purple Thunder, which was a retailer exclusive. Then there were two Baja flavors and the new Voodoo. That was pretty much it from Pepsi. Whereas from Coke, we just got three Creations flavors last year. There were no new flavors released during the holidays. Oh yeah, I guess Mountain Dew did a redux of a Liberty Brew last summer as well. But that was it. Um, so it's interesting that the first real new soda of 2024 is the first permanent addition, or so Coke says. It's the first addition to their permanent roster in a really long time. For the longest time, it's just been kind of Coke, Cherry Coke, Vanilla Coke, and while Vanilla Coke's been around since the early aughts and Cherry Coke's been around since the mid to late 80s, they were actually a thing way before, because soda fountains would add the cherry or the vanilla soda syrup, or I guess both sometimes, to the Coke at the counter, and it took Coke a while to figure out how to add those flavors in the fact at the factory. Um, uh, and so cherry and vanilla Coke had this history even before they were made by Coke themselves. And so but now this new guy is a brand new idea, this raspberry and spice. Is it going to be a new take on the cinnamon Coke from a couple of years ago with just some raspberries added, or what? Last I checked, raspberries weren't a spice unto themselves, but uh, I guess we're going to see. So here we go. Yeah, you can smell the raspberries. Okay. As far as mouthfeel goes, it's about on a par with regular Coke, maybe more closer to a cherry Coke, which had it's about as crispy, but there's a hollowness to it. This might be something like that. Oh, the raspberries do linger, which is interesting because raspberries really aren't as sweet as a lot of other berries. You can definitely, or so you have the raspberries on top, you have the Coke underneath, and in the middle, there is something. It's not cinnamon. I'm gonna say nutmeg, but it's not that either. Um, I guess how many other spices do I know? Um, it's not a ginger. It's not that potent. Hmm. Which is not to say that it's bad. I'm just trying to nail down what spices they could possibly make and why they didn't just decide to call it raspberry Coke. Probably because they figured raspberries really aren't all that popular um, when it comes down to it. You know, you got grape and orange and cherry. Look at all look at all the flavors of Crush and Knee High and whatnot. Um, Strawberry made it into a soda before raspberries did, really. So as you can see, it's the typical caramel color. I don't notice any like red tint like I have before. Um, Goes down about as easy as a regular Coke, which is really neither here nor there. It's not exactly something you can chug a lug. I mean, there is an edge to the fizziness, but there always is with Coke. Maybe a little bit, like I said, maybe a little bit more than regular Coke, and then that fruitiness prevails. Mm, got on your lips and the front of your mouth. Mm. 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 Okay, all right. So I can see where they're trying to go. I think what they're trying to do is something maybe a little less fruity than cherry Coke, or at least different. Definitely has a different fizz than cherry Coke. And there is something, as I said, in between the raspberries and the cola, although what exactly I'm not entirely sure. And of course, it's not as sweet as vanilla Coke. Excuse me. Well, that's not entirely true. I mean, it's fruity and sweet. Coca-Cola is sweet. It's got the the only soda with more sugar is Mountain Dew. So um, so it is a different flavor. It's not cherry Coke. It's not vanilla Coke. It's not cherry vanilla Coke. It doesn't have that smoothness of vanilla. It's got a fruitiness. Saying it has got a little zing is overstating it, I think. There's a little extra savory flavor going on there besides just the Coke and the berries. Um, so that so I guess our usual question: would I take this over a regular Coke? And I think it's about a push. I think if I was having a cheeseburger, I would go with a regular Coke. But if I was just gonna drink something, this is a fine choice. If the two of them were sitting there, sure, I'd probably take this if it was by itself, because this has a little bit more to offer. It's obviously new, so it's got a little more going for it than just the Coke, which had the same formula for what 100 years now, something like that. Uh, so if you would like Coke with a little more fruitiness, a little more mystery to it, and you'd like to give the brand new permanent addition to the roster a bit of a boost, check this out and enjoy if you think you'd like that sort of thing. So thanks for watching and have a good night.